Oh, and one more thing I want to mention. I almost forgot. So Rob B hit us up with another question this week, and I want to make sure that we read it on the podcast so we could discuss it real quick. He mentioned a demographic of gamers that are basically being left behind, and that's sports simulation gamers. His first gaming love was actually sports games. That's what got him into it. And I mean, nowadays people are getting into gaming from all different angles: puzzle gamers, mobile gamers, what have you. So I'm all about it. Even sports games, which I'm not super into, but they can be fun. I really enjoyed what was it? NBA Street. I was really into NBA Street and really into NBA Jam. Love Tony Hawk's. That's a sports game. That counts. Tony Hawk's counts. Hot Shots Golf. Oh my God. Mario Golf. Yes, please. Forget about it. Are there any like big major sports games that you're into?
Not really at the moment. Like I used to like back when EA Sports was big. You remember the EA Sports? That was my shit. Every time that came on, you knew it was about to be a banger. But like I used to play NFL and NBA 2K5 all the time. And it was so busted because I would pick Yao Ming and be hitting 3-pointers.
I think you're closer to what he likes than I am, because he's talking about the sports sim. As the games progress, he says you'd want to play them to get an accurate as possible representation of the real sport. That said, he says that the mode everyone played was either franchise or whatever each sports game's equivalent of franchise was. It's why you bought it every year and you kept playing it. With the games releasing annually, you would think they're getting good reviews. What's the problem? Well, his problem is when they started with online play, microtransactions started endemically affecting these games. And you and I know this. FIFA, they're really terrible about it. EA, he has obviously a big problem with it. Much like Call of Duty, people start playing games online, but then developers and publishers like EA, 2K, SDS, they all realize they can make more money than the $50, $60 they charge. Take-Two is one of the worst, he says. They publish 2K, and they have online card collecting modes.
You gotta get those V-Bucks.
That's what he's talking about.
I need money for V-Bucks.
Oh, no. Mom, I accidentally spent $2,000 trying to get my favorite soccer player.
Oh, yeah.
So figure rent out or whatever, and then they're on the street. So he said, it's not really fun to try to play those modes without spending any extra money because it's a horrible grind.
Right.
And it makes sense. They design those games to be grindy to make you want to spend more money. And he says all the major sports games are doing it. He mentions that these game modes are now being more focused on, so franchise mode is getting less and less love. Another unfortunate byproduct of this, he mentions MLB The Show. In the last 4 or 5 years, they've literally barely touched franchise mode. You could turn on the show 17, barely tell the difference between 17 and 21.
Damn.
He says that he feels like most sports gamers like him don't really give a shit about dressing up a My Player or collecting cards. He was wanting to get our thoughts on that. If there's a game or game franchise that we love that is being ruined by online play or microtransactions, an example of a non-sports game for him would be Call of Duty. He really liked the single player in Call of Duty 4, and I mean, they ripped the single player completely out of the newest Call of Duty game, didn't they? Or they bring it back? I can't remember.
No, that was Call of Duty Black Ops 4, had no campaign whatsoever.
That shows you how much I'm up on that series.
The latest one is Cold War.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I kind of gave up on it. I might check out Cold War because I hear the campaign's kind of fun.
I know, it does look dope.
Every time I saw Ronald Reagan, I want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. So
maybe you get to shoot him at the end.
I was gonna say if you get to shoot him, I'm okay with that. So, but yeah. So let me ask you then. I mean, Ron, first of all, we feel your pain. I think I mentioned on my microtransaction rant on the last or previous episode, I can't remember which one it was, that I draw the line at don't do it ever. Okay, there's no slippery slope. I'm drawing the line here. Don't do it. I don't accept it at all. There's a certain acceptable form of DLC, and you're right. When it comes to grinding and trying to get all that money out of people, it affects game design. I mean, we've seen it with the travesty that was, like, if you want to talk about a franchise that was ruined, I loved Battlefront on PS2.
Too. Yep.
I loved Battlefront. And then when it came to PS4, it looked gorgeous. I was so excited, and they fucked it up not once, but twice. Oh my God. And I have both the games, and I've barely played them. I got them for super cheap as a collector, but I'm not interested in what they got because everything's just microtransactioned all to hell and designed badly to encourage people to spend money, and I'm not about it.
Yeah.
What about you? Can you think of a franchise that got ruined by microtransactions that you loved?
That I love? Not that I loved, because I tend to just stay away from that. Like anything with microtransactions in it, or even stuff that didn't have it. And
Marvel's Avengers. Tell me you wouldn't have been all over. Tell me you wouldn't have been all over Avengers if it wasn't for all the microtransaction crap.
The gameplay is not great though.
Yeah, but the reason why it's not great is because of microtransactions. It's literally made to be grindy, so you spend money.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could say Marvel's Avengers, because I was really looking forward to that game.
There you go, and it got ruined.
So bad, yeah.
It's not like it would have been bad, because I think Crystal Dynamics made a good game, but then I think they had to carve it out and adjust it. I mean, we literally talked about a story where they made it harder to level up because they said people were leveling up too fast.
Right.
Fuck off. Yeah, so Ron B, we feel you. We feel your pain. Hopefully somebody can take up the mantle. All I can say is the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Maybe go check out some Nintendo online groups and take notes, because nobody complains like Nintendo fans, I gotta tell you. We'll get more into that later. But
or check out, I haven't played them specifically. Check out Doug Flutie's Maximum Football and RBI Baseball. Haven't checked them out. I don't know if they have campaigns or not. Just saying, look up some videos on them and see if they got what you're looking for.
Okay.
Because they're budget titles.
Okay. Yeah, and I know that maybe it might not scratch that itch completely, because obviously you want it to be as sim as possible, which means having the license, which means being able to do the franchise mode. But, maybe it's time to start voting with your wallets, guys. I mean, I know you love sports sims, but enough is enough, right? Maybe just we got to take a few years off from buying these games and get that sports feel somewhere else. So let us know what you decide to do. And if anybody else has any opinions, of course, we'd love to hear them. We are always happy to read listener questions on the show.